Aha, now it's working. Yeah. Fantastic. Hello. I'm just checking my phone to see if my wife can see me. Hopefully she can, and I am here as a little surprise because today, Sally Jane is here as well. Hello, Claire and Beatrice, Sally Jane. This is a little extra because I've had a very frustrating day today. You know, as guides, we get them sometimes, more often than we'd like, actually. And today, my plan was to get to Chester nice and early, plenty of time, a whole afternoon to have lunch, to film a nice one of my Chester routes so we can do it as live, and then maybe a little bit of something else, and then have a coffee, and then get ready for my ghost tour tonight at 6:30. Unfortunately, the great English weather had other ideas. This is the first time that it has stayed dry for more than about a minute and a half the entire day. So I no longer have any time to film an entire tour because there's not enough daylight left, and I don't think the rain's going to hold off for long enough. Also, some parts of the route that I wanted to do are actually closed off due to flooding in recent days and weeks. So yeah, I've been a bit thwarted, so I thought, well, let's make a little video anyway, and let's do it live so that anyone who's around can watch, and then it'll be on the YouTube channel for anyone who wants to watch it later. So a huge good afternoon to those of you. Surprise, it's Halloween. It's your first scary surprise of your Halloween celebrations. So let me turn around the camera because I know I've just about dried out from yesterday, but I've managed to kind of stay out of it today because I was driving, and then I kind of dodged under my umbrella to get some lunch, and then to get a coffee, and I kind of dodged, but it really did stop raining for, you know, a couple of minutes. And one of the things I like to do when I film a tour and do it as live, one of the things I always want is for the video quality to be as good as possible when I do those as live tours, so that people get as good an experience as they can, and filming it in the pouring rain from under an umbrella was just not going to cut it. So have to come back up here another time and do that. But let's have a look at something a little bit different, shall we, that we don't normally look at on our tours. And I'm just about to step inside the churchyard of St. John's Church. This is the oldest church. Most of what we see now is Victorian, but some medieval parts. And this was the site of the oldest church here. So remember, Chester was a Roman city. So when the Christian religion started to spread throughout the Roman world, of course, the Roman settlements were the places that had the first churches. And St. John's Church, back in the 11th century, became Chester's first cathedral. Only for a little while, though, but it was Chester's first cathedral. Nowadays just a parish church for serving part of the city, but it's also been reconstructed over the years, and they decided that they didn't need it to be quite as big as it once had been. So when they reconstructed it, they just left some parts standing where they had been, and now we have ruins. The original eastern end of the church is now ruins. Very important when you come to Chester, you see ruins, and first thing you think is, oh, it's a Roman city, they must be Roman ruins. But these are actually medieval ruins from the medieval St. John's Church and Cathedral, built out of the local sandstone and still in situ. And I'm being very, very careful on the steps because it is very slippery with the leaves underfoot. I thought we could have just a quick look at St. John's Church. Look at these fantastic ruins. Great. And well, there's a very interesting part of the ruins. Oh yes, there are steps here, that's good. I didn't want to jump. When these ruins were left, one of the priests at the time decided, nobody really knows why, but he wanted to put something, so they had an old medieval coffin, a stone coffin, and they mounted it up on the wall with the phrase "dust to dust" inside it. So I guess that covers the Halloweeny element of this particular little stream for you. A birthday treat for you, Natalie. Well, a very, very happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. I hope you're going to enjoy your birthday celebrations. And I wanted to show you a little bit of St John's Church in this area, but the other thing I wanted to show you was some of the beautiful autumn colours. Because when we were in Gloucester a couple of days ago, one of the comments that someone made, I recall, was that they were surprised by how green the trees still were down in Gloucester. And that's very true, but here we are much further north. We're about 150 miles almost further north, where it is generally a little bit cooler, and the seasons sometimes progress a little bit quicker through to autumn and winter. And I have really noticed today that the autumn colours here are much further along. There are many, many more leaves on the ground. And yes, here we are. I walked along here earlier and I did find a few little furry friends. No, come on, we don't want you hiding. Oh, there he goes up the tree, look. There he goes. But there's another one. Lots and lots of squirrels around here. I can see 3 on the grass here from where I'm filming. So always nice to see some squirrels. They're a little bit nervous here. They're not friendly like the ones in Coventry. Yes, it's the squirrel. There we go. But I thought we'd take a little walk through the park. You don't have to come with us, squirrel. You can stay here if you want. Bit of nature, a bit of trees, bit of history, and a bit of everything. Hopefully it won't include me falling over as I slip on some discarded leaves. So let's have a little walk down through the park, shall we? Because the park is a beautiful part of the city. And it's called Grosvenor Park, named after the Grosvenor family, one of the wealthiest and most influential families in the history of this part of the world, Cheshire, and the city of Chester in particular. Great benefactors of the city, including the donation and provision of the park here in the 19th century that bears the family name. I mean, it's fair to say that, generous as the Grosvenor family have been, they are in a position to afford it because they are one of the wealthiest families in the country. They have the title the Dukes of Westminster, and any time when you would read a list of the wealthiest people in Britain, way up at the top above all the business people, above even the monarch, you would find the Duke of Westminster. And that is the Grosvenor family's wealth. The current Duke, well, he inherited the title just a couple of years ago. He's about 31, 32 years old now. And until his 30th birthday disqualified him from being on the list, he was top of the list of the world's wealthiest people under the age of 30. Now he's in his early 30s, but still, you know, very wealthy man. But this lovely park carries the family name. Beautiful avenue of trees here with the different colours. Susan, I did see the news report of the squirrel getting on the train, yes. I wanted to share it to the Facebook group, but I couldn't seem to isolate just the one video. Oh, was it you? Oh, this one's running for his train. Hello. Hello. He likes me. Hello. Oh, they do like me, the squirrels, don't they? He's running for his train, running to come and see us. but we're going to head this way. And I know normally you'll know if you've done any of my tours that, especially in parks and countryside areas, I like to go off-piste a little bit and head out into the trees and across the grass, but it's so slippery and muddy here. I don't want to take any chances in terms of injuring myself. So I'm sticking firmly to the paths. They're quite slippery enough. So let's go into a shady part. Oh, what a lovely blackbird on the path there. I can hear birds singing, but I haven't seen many of them. Lots of squirrels though, and there seems to be hundreds of squirrels in this park. Definitely like it. But treading very carefully, going downhill. And parts of this park were once a quarry. So here on the edge of the city, hello squirrel, was a big area where stone was quarried for the city walls, the Roman city, the medieval city, and part of that is now the Roman Gardens, and part of it is now this lower section of Groer Park. And in fact this particular section of the park is called the Quarry Garden, and it says arch from west door of Old St. Michael's Church. So that's a church that's right at the heart of the city, now decommissioned. It's now a museum, but it was rebuilt in the Victorian age. So that's the old medieval arch from St. Michael's. Yes, the squirrel video was on the BBC News website. I did watch the video, but when I clicked onto it, I couldn't isolate just that one video. It just took me to a screen that had lots of different video clips on it, and you know, who knows what was further down the screen that people might not have wanted to see. So I didn't want to share just a general video clip page without being able to vet everything that was on it. So I wasn't able to just kind of share the one video itself, but probably share the story and get to it that way. It's on the BBC News website. Hello MB, lovely to see you. Hello Corinne as well. Nancy. Secret of life there. What's that then? Oh, that's what was in Claire's meeting. Now I'm not one to unduly criticise, but I know that Claire works for the Welsh government. So if the Welsh government is coming up with the secret of life in staff meetings, then that would be news indeed. Oh MB, I don't know what's for tea. It doesn't seem that long since lunch. No, it wasn't a train that I was on, definitely not. I would have loved to have a squirrel on the train with me. Oh, actually, I don't know whether I would. I think squirrels are nice to see in the woods and in gardens, but maybe not so much on the on the train. I think it probably would have got a little bit distressed once it realised it was trapped on there. And distressed animals do not necessarily make for the best companions in an enclosed space. So we've emerged from the park and we're down on the Riverside, the River Dee here, and this tree-lined walkway, kind of an extension of the park really. It's called the Groves. It's pretty quiet at the moment, but in the summertime there's a really busy area. Lots of people come down here and hang out by the river. There's boat trips, you can hire boats, there's ice creams and cold drinks and those kind of things. Not so much at this time of year, but we also have this lovely suspension bridge. This iron bridge that was built in the 1920s. And I'm going to look very carefully, because sometimes these kinds of bridges, when a lot of people walk across them, they do bounce up and down slightly. But But no, it was built to connect the centre of the city with the residential suburb of Hanbridge, which is on the other side of the River Dee, and you can see some of the grand houses of that suburb across the way there, but you can also see how high the river level is. I think this has probably dropped. I suspect that a few days ago the water level would have been up here where I'm now standing, but yeah, this is a pretty full river as we look downstream towards the weir, towards the stone bridge, the old Dee Bridge. And again, beautiful autumnal colours of the trees along the river here. And let's just take a short walk, shall we? The traditional bandstand. Of course, you can't have an English park without a bandstand. This one's very precariously parked close to the side of the river, I have to say, but I do love it down here. I do think that it is a beautiful city, a lot of history, but this area down by the river with the trees and the River Dee itself, I think is particularly lovely at any time of year. And the trees are looking particularly great at the moment, I think. And you can see on the steps here, they've got kind of seating areas. I wouldn't want to sit on one at the moment. You definitely get a wet behind, but they are nice places to sit in the summer and chill out, watch the world go by, eat your sandwich. A lovely spot here in the groves. So I'm going to sign off in a moment because I want to get myself heading up into the centre of Chester and get a coffee and get myself all psyched up for tonight's ghost tour. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go into the bandstand, shall we? And let's just finish with a little look along the river. The two river cruisers there not operating at this time of year. And here we are. That's some strange fellow who looks like he's got a big pole growing out of the top of his head. That's better. So, well, thanks for joining in. I hope you've enjoyed this surprise little live stream from Chester. I have to sing, can't I dance? Can't I go, you are 16 going on 17. That's in a little kind of a bandstand like this, isn't it? Thanks so much all of you for joining me for the live stream, and if you've joined within the last few minutes, it'll be on the YouTube channel just to check out, and so people can check it out there as well. And hope to see you at 6:30 UK time, which is in 2.5 hours from now. Tish, I didn't know Natalie was 16 going on 17. I'm impressed. And I also hope to see some of you later for the ghost tour, because it'll be dark by then. We have some lovely illuminated buildings in the centre of the city, and there'll be some great Halloween stories for you as well. So take care, everybody. See you later. Bye for now.